Good morning to you all. It's the 1st of May 2017. The 1st of May and the sun is shining, but it's not especially warm. There is cloud, there has been a little bit of drizzle, and there's a threat of more to come. So it's a very good day for getting indoors and getting stuff done. I've just been to the co-op. I was very disciplined, that's all I've been to, and just picked up some munchies to keep me going through the morning. Right, home, get some work done. Of course, one can't live by the sea without just spending a little bit of time trying to zoom in on a ship to see what it is. Before I went out, I did do a little bit to the second window for repair. Now, that, where are we? That pane was cracked, this is cracked, that is cracked. But one of the things that I discovered working on this is the lead actually sort of perishes and the joints foul. And when I got to this bit, what I found was that the lead had actually sort of brittled and cracked. So I've just touched in some solder there on that side. I've glued a new piece in here. Yeah, but that's going to be put to one side for the rest of the morning because I've got other things that I need to get done. And while the kettle does what the kettle does best behind me, just a quick story. I like flowers, I like all sorts of flowers, and these are an experiment. About a fortnight ago, maybe a little longer, might have been 3 weeks ago, I went into one of our local shops and they'd got some bunches of flowers. Now, I'm not famous for buying bunches of flowers for anybody. The proper price was horrendous, which is why they hadn't sold. And they got a bunch that didn't look that good, but they were very, very cheap. And I bought them for very not much at all, promise. I don't do spending money, and gave them to a very good friend of mine who was delighted with them. And then she said, they must have been on special offer, you don't do things like that. Too well she knows me. Any road up, they started to sprout. So I thought, I don't know, I'll give them a chance. I've cut them, I dipped the bottom ends in some hormone powder, I've stuck them in some dirt. We will see. They may live, they might not. Really don't know. That is a pure experiment. If they live, if they grow into bushes, they will be lovely. Life is full of decisions. Yeah. Now, we've made some progress with this. We've put a replacement piece of lead in there, we've put replacement glass. I have tacked some frame on there to keep it steady while I replace this piece and this piece. I'd always decided that the piece of lead there was coming out. It just looked like it was finished and I couldn't see how else to get that piece in. While I was doing that, I discovered that this joint had packed up, so I've resoldered that. And then this joint here, let me see if I can do this without breaking anything. Can you see that there's a crack there and there? So they will need resoldering. Well, not resoldering, it's the parent metal that's cracked. So as you go round the job, you begin to wonder if it would have been better to have simply taken it apart, laid out all of the glass that wasn't broken, and just re-leaded it. I think, on balance, what I'm doing is probably the best way forward for this frame, but it does start to beg the question, doesn't it? Should I simply have torn it all apart, laid out the good glass, re-leaded it from scratch? Maybe, but we are where we are. Of course, one decision I did make, I'm not repairing that crack until I've got the replacement glass in, because I might want to be able to fidget the job just a little bit to wiggle that in there. So there we are. I'm going to find a thin piece of glass to go there. As you remember, last time I tried to cut that shape, I had all sorts of a nightmare with it. So I'll use something a little bit different, and hopefully that will make cutting it a lot easier.